I just graduated from my PA program 3 weeks before I was due to be induced into labor with my daughter. Um, so I went into the hospital in July of 2000 for the induction, and it went sort of uneventfully through the night. And then in the morning, I'd only dilated a small bit, and so it was considered prolonged labor at that point. And Maggie's heart rate started to it didn't start. It just, you only need one time for a baby's heart rate to drop below 60 for them to do an emergency C-section. So that means the baby's in distress. Like, we need to get the baby out now. So that happened, and they immediately, like, came in. I knew that they were going to come in because I was watching the monitor and had the training to understand what was going on. And they said, the nurse midwife said, we need to do a C-section now. And I was like, I know. So she left the room, and all of a sudden she had put an internal monitor on my daughter's scalp, which was a standard procedure, where they can measure the baby's vital signs with it. And it's basically a metal screw that goes into the fontanelle area that's still open, and screw it in. And they say that they trained us that the baby doesn't feel it, but she did. And she reflexed very hard and kicked so hard that amniotic fluid was pushed into my bloodstream. And the body sees that as foreign and starts to immediately surround it with cells to get rid of it. Well, that creates little clots. And that started to clot in my circulation. It goes back to the lungs for oxygen. The blood goes back to the lungs for oxygenation. That's what happened. And it started to clog off the periphery of my lungs. And then it works central. So as it was, and it's incredibly rapid, this whole process. We're talking split seconds. This is going on. So I start feeling like I have like palpitations in my chest. And it's hard to breathe. I'm having trouble. Like, I can't get my breath. So the nurses just like dove into action. They knew what was going on. So they pulled me on my side, put oxygen on my face, started wheeling me out of the room within a second, 2 seconds.
Let's talk about death, baby. Let's talk about you and me. We're not the one and only.